What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on? Okay. Alright. Girl, that look like I had a mustache, and it's not. It's just a shadow of whatever. Any freaking way. What's going on, y'all? I hope y'all having a good day. Y'all hope your day is better than mine's been. Listen. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I ain't even really want to come on here and do this because I'm just like, I really hate when my feelings get played with. And I hate when people like can't own up to when they did something wrong and want to make you feel like you the bad guy and you the one that did it and you actually did it. And even when they get the explanation to clear it up, they still don't. Girl, it's just a lot. Like at this point, I don't even want to put myself out there no more. Like, I'm gonna just be solo dolo forever. That's just basically, that's literally, I'm in my feelings right about now. Like, I am so tired of trying to fuck, people like open up, open up, open up. Don't be so guarded. Let your walls down. And then the one time I do, I get a lot of shit thrown in me. Like, I don't like it. I don't like that feeling. I really don't. I just don't like people playing with my character. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like being accused of stuff that I didn't do. I don't like. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's what's going on. So if you see an attitude or whatever, baby, I'm just in my feelings a little bit because, it is what it is. But it's warm outside. It's warm outside, y'all. I ain't finna be doom and gloom. Listen, this how y'all be. Like, people really just, and they don't realize that shit is a turn off. And it really don't take much for me to just be like, fuck it. I don't want to try to get to know you no more. I don't want to do this, do that. I'm dead serious. Like, I'm dead ass finna be single for the rest of my life at this point. Anyway, moving on from that. It's warm. It was raining a little bit. It's puddles everywhere. Now, let me tell you something. The car let me out right in a big ass puddle. Did I know that it was a big ass puddle right there? Absolutely not. So that's another reason why I'm in my feelings right now, because my shoe got messed up. Now, granted, I'm so glad I didn't have on my new shoes, and I really would have been pissed, okay? But, all right. Now, also, let me tell you something else. Finna go on a rant for a second. I really need to know, is anybody else having problems with USPS? Okay? That is the United Postal Service. Not just with your actual mail, but getting packages and stuff. All right? Because I ordered, trying to support a black business, some black art and everything, pop culture, all that stuff, right? So it just kept popping up. I look up the website, look up the person. They're very much legit. Had a lot of good reviews, a lot of good experiences, nothing really too negative about them or whatever. I said, you know what? This person keep popping up. Let me look at it. I look at the site. I said, oh, this is nice. You got me 4 of them things. Black on. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, this is before the tariffs and they in Illinois. In the state. So, I don't even feel like that's going to affect anything or whatever. But put my order in. Go try to find some, frames and stuff. Because I was thinking about putting the pictures up here, right? It was going to look cute because, when I record, y'all see my picture, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to put that up there. And then I'm going to put this one over there. I had it all figured out because, I'm really trying to fix this place up a little bit and make it a little bit more homely, And so I put this in last month. Probably at the end of last month. Probably the end of last month, beginning of this month. Whichever the freak was. All I know is it took a couple of days before I get a notification saying that it's been shipped. Okay, mind you, it's 4 items. 4 items. I went on ahead and got, the picture frames because it didn't come with a frame. I was fine with that. Those came 2 days later after I ordered them. Okay. They've been sitting over there waiting for some pictures to go in there. It is April the 23rd. April the 23rd. Do you know I got the tracking information for USPS that this is being shipped through USPS? And I'm getting it and everything was going cool. Then it gets to April the 15th. And they was like, it's at the facility. The next thing you know, I get another notification. Well, I don't really get no notification. I go in there to check the tracking because I'm like, well, what's going on? Girl, they said it's going to be arriving a little bit late, but it's still going to be here. It's a little bit of a delay. It's been saying that since April 15th. I'm so pissed because I'm like, something about this ain't right. Then I had ordered something else and they sent it to the wrong Chicago distribution center, right? How do I find this out? Because I had to call USPS and get on the phone and have them actually look up and see what the hell is going on. Okay, because I actually had this issue before. I ordered something from Levi, right? Why is it taking so long for it to get here and why is it still stuck in the same spot? I called Levi, tell them what's going on. They was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. We'll send you a replacement free of charge. The replacement came in 3 days. I was waiting for that package for over 2 weeks. For over 2 weeks, it was still in that same spot in the USPS. Do you know, maybe 3 or 4 days later after I got the original packet, the replacement packet, the original came. I gave it to my sister. I said, ain't this about a bitch? And so now I'm talking to the agent and they said, basically, girl, you probably going to have to file a claim. Because it's been there since if it's saying that it's been here since the 15th, you know, you probably gonna have to file a claim or gonna have to have the company that you went to file a claim and all that stuff and probably get you a refund or tell them to resend it, send you some more. I said, what? And you know what? I don't even want to do. I did send a message to the company and just say, file the claim. Okay. I don't even really want them to resend me another set because I feel like it's a black business. You know, this economy struggling and that's like free stuff. Granted, it ain't their fault. It ain't my fault, but I just don't feel comfortable with them wanting to send extra because of the shit that USPS did. Man, I was so goddamn hot and heated because I'm up here waiting to put my shit up. I got it all figured out in my mind. You gonna tell me, son, it got lost in the system. Are you fucking kidding me? Then the other package, they sent it to the wrong distribution. Like, I'm looking at it, right? And I'm like, okay, it's coming from Cleveland. Bitch, Cleveland right there. Illinois right here. What the freak? Cleveland, Indiana, Illinois. What's going on? Girl, I see that it's finally up in Chicago, right? Next thing I know, I go look and it says Nashville, Tennessee. I said, now hold up. Hold up. Nashville? Chicago. Nashville. So you went from Cleveland, you crossed over into Indiana to get to Chicago. Now you're going to leave it and go to Tennessee? I said, get the hell out of here. Now it's back in Chicago. They said, oh, they sent it to the wrong Chicago distribution center. I said, well, why did they have to send it back to fucking Nashville when it wasn't even in Nashville? It didn't even come from Nashville. That just don't make no sense. I'm so frustrated, y'all. I'm so frustrated. And then I got one more story to tell y'all. I know y'all like, because girl, it ain't really nothing to talk about. We'll get to what we want to talk about in a minute. Y'all like hearing these stories because, baby, it's been a time. Yesterday at work, and I was going to do an individual video for this, but I just didn't feel like it because I was just over it. Yesterday at goddamn work, bitch, doing work, and this is at the beginning of the day, okay? I was ready to go after this moment, and I feel like it's got to a point where I am desensitized to a whole bunch of stuff, and that is not good, okay? I work in a place where people do come in and we have to have the building open for the unhoused. We can't really say, no, you can't come in here unless they are causing a disturbance, okay? Now, when it comes to the unhoused that are out here around that area, whatever, the majority of them are on some type of illegal substances, right? Okay. Now, there is one particular gentleman that does come in and he goes straight to the bathroom and he be in that bitch for like 15, 20 minutes. And he ain't taking a shit and he ain't pissing, okay? Then he'll come out, get a card to get on the computer, and as soon as he sit down on that computer, Knock the fuck out. But then he'll eventually wake up. Especially if somebody say, hey, yo, dude, you got to get up because they no sleeping up in the library, right? Yesterday, he do that. Get the card, sit on the computer. This motherfucker would not get up. Would not get up. Mind you, I'm like, what's going on? Do I stop doing my work? Absolutely not. Because I can't count on two hands how many times I didn't see somebody overdose. Okay? By being up in the job that I have. You just don't... Listen, it gets dirty up in the goddamn library system, okay? And he would not... they were bamming. In our policy, you cannot touch the patrons at all. You can't touch them for any reason. Baby, because we don't want no liability on us or nothing like that. You can't sue us for nothing. You can't say we did this and we did that because we did not, because we're not supposed to touch you. They trying to get him to wake up. They bamming on the stuff. They push the chair, doing all of that with the chair, whatever, trying to make him get up. Baby, hollering in his ear, everything. This man would not move at all. He was slouched over. Just slouched the freak over. Baby, it came to a point where they were so concerned that they thought that bed probably was going through an overdose or whatever. Call the cops. Now they're trying to figure out who gonna call the cops. I said, fuck it, I'll call the cops. Okay? I call the police and I'm telling them what's going on. She was like, well, is he breathing? I'm like, well, shit, I don't know. I ain't over there. They said, yeah, he breathing. Okay, well, do y'all got some Narcan or something like that? And was like, is it... I was like, yeah, we do. It was like, well, you're going to have to give him some Narcan and do some chest compressions. Bitch, what? No, I'm sorry. I was like, excuse me. I said to my other coworker, this is what they said, because I'm not finna go over that. Girl, I was just out of it. I was out of it yesterday. And I was just like, damn. And you want to know why? You want to know why it was another patron? Because we got to follow policy. Because, again, we have to follow policy. It says don't touch people. And I was like, well, how come they just can't go ahead and call the cops? The police station and the fighter, all that shit is right down the block. Call them. Bitch, while we up there talking, they was listening. They went on ahead and called it. Do you know a patron went over there, because they can touch him. Patrons on patron. Went over there and gave him some Narcan. I don't even know if she gave it to him. All I know is by the time she got over there, the paramedics was coming up into the building. So I don't know if she gave it to him or not. Baby, at least 6-7 paramedics come over there, woke his ass up. Now, listen. When I tell you, I was so confused because they weren't even over there for a good 30 seconds. And I saw the motherfucker walk out. You mean to tell me you was knocked out that damn bad, but when them paramedics came, you got your ass up and you walked the hell out like ain't nothing happened? That motherfucker was in a dope sleep. And this is why I say I'm so desensitized, because did I have any sense of urgency to be like, oh my God, something could happen? Like, we had one person literally overdose in the bathroom. And that was the only one time that I actually was kind of like a little, scared a little bit that he possibly could have died, because he was in the bathroom and the door was closed. It was the single sex bathroom, unisex bathroom, and it was one stall, and he had the door closed and we couldn't open up the door. We just noticed that he'd been in there for a long time. And so, we get security in and them to knock on the door. Nobody's responding. And so they tried to open up the door. They had to unlock it from the outside. Bitch, they had to push that door so hard because it felt like something was against it. You want to know what was against it? He was against it because he had passed the fuck out because he overdosed it. Bitch, I said, oh my goodness. Do you know the ambulance came and he came back to the library 2 days later like ain't nothing happened? That was, baby, I only been to work for 2 days. This all happened in the span of 2 days. What's going to happen tomorrow? Then because I'm so in my feelings today, I was like, you know what? Let me go to the movies. Let me treat myself to the movies again, because I really do want to go see Sinners again, and I'm damn sure gonna go see it before the week is over again, because it's just that good to me. I go look on the thing trying to get some tickets, and I'm like, wow, it is fucking Wednesday, and y'all still got the theater sold the fuck out. Like, come on, shit. I don't want to sit all the way in the front. All the goddamn seats in every theater at the time that I need to go, they full. And this is probably like a row and a half in the very front. I don't want to sit like this. Okay, no, I was really upset. I said, what the fuck is going on? Well, that's. I need a pick me up. I need somebody to make me laugh. I probably got to make myself laugh. Y'all finna fight out there? Oh, okay, y'all coming in. Never mind. I thought that was gonna be the pick me up that I needed. Anyway, that was a little ghetto, but hey, it is what it is. I can admit that. Okay, but let's get into this. I know y'all like, damn, bitch, 15 minutes. This could have been a separate video. It could have. It could have, but what you did, you sat here and you listened. You can also fast forward if you want to. Don't take my attitude as personal, because girl, I already said I'm going through it. Okay. I hate feelings. That's just basically what it is. Moving on from that, mind you, I don't claim nobody. Anyway, moving on from that, girl, people blur lines. We get up into this, what it is, and honestly, it really wasn't much. It's just a big thing. And I honestly, the only reason why I really want to get on here, I want to talk about Shannon Sharpe too, but we'll get to that. Listen, the Pope died on Easter, right after Easter. Y'all are calling J.D. Vance Pope killer. Now, I had to look it up because, girl, Easter didn't feel like Easter. Okay, Easter didn't feel like, well, I don't celebrate that, but, I'm newly into the holidays. I acknowledge the stuff or whatever, but, it's all paganism and everything. But hey, ooh, don't let me say that. Don't let me say that. But it's true. But, anyway, because I'm like, what the hell does the bunny got to do with Jesus rising? You know what? Black people are so funny. And we can't take anything serious because somebody posted a video on TikTok and said, how do you think Jesus, if he rose up today, how would he raise up? All these clips. Y'all are so funny. Y'all are so hilarious, okay? But listen, Easter happened. Thank you, Jesus. You died for our sins. You know what I'm saying? You that one. You did that. You did your big one for real. We kind of fucking it up down here. I know you be looking like God damn, and half of the country was goddamn high as hell because it was 420 at the same time. He rose up and he was up and down at the same time because that motherfucker probably was just like eyes on fucking low, okay? Y'all just had the sky just filled with it, okay? You just couldn't walk through it. He had his own smoke machine from us. But anyway, you got that going on. And then the Pope, he going around doing this thing. I don't know, like, when the way the people that, and I don't want to shake no feathers or nothing, but it just feels very idolatry-y or whatever. Because I seen this video, whatever. He was walking. They had him going through the crowds and everybody was just, oh my God. I said, that's okay. I ain't finna do that. I'm not finna do it. Well, let me shut up. I'm not finna. No, it just feels a little weird. It feels a little weird. And I will say this, honestly, when it comes to like the Catholic religion and the way that the priests, it's just so restrictive. Why do you want to become a priest? They need to change the rules. While y'all out here changing everything else, allow these priestesses to get married, okay? So that they can stop doing the nasty shit that they do on the side, sneaking and doing, and allow them to be gay, because a lot of them is gay. And this ain't blasphemy, because I read about it, I seen some accounts about it. You got lesbianic nuns, you got some gay priestesses out there, you got pedophiles out there. Wipe them out, okay? And I'm talking about the pedophiles, allow them motherfuckers to get married, not to the kids, but, to adults, okay? We'll get it. That's gonna come up in a second, but the man died the next day. I know I don't keep up with him, so of course I wouldn't know. But he died. They said he was sick. He already had pneumonia or something like that. They said J.D. Vance came up there and held his hand and all that shit. I said, oh my God, that's why y'all saying the couch fucker, did that to him. Wow, that's crazy. No disrespect to the Catholics or whatever. I don't understand it. But, may he rest in peace. I was about to do something, but I feel like that would have been offensive. But I don't want to offend nobody. I don't have nothing to say. I just wanted to mention it. The Pope passed away. He did speak out on a lot of shit. Like, he really went for Trump. So that's fine. He fan with me on that aspect. He fan with me. And he kind of stood up for the LGBT a little bit too. So he kind of fan with me. But then again, I think, wasn't there something that came out where somebody was saying some shit behind closed door? Let me pause that. I'm going to have to look that up before I go back into that. But I do know that he don't like that man. Okay, so that's yeah, you all right with me on that front. Now let me tell you something. You want to know who probably rolling over in their grave when it comes to that administration? Robert F. Kennedy Sr. Seeing his son, I know he is just like, it's a good thing I am off this earth. Maybe I need to be here, because had I been here, this boy wouldn't be the way that he is. First of all, can somebody tell me what happened to his voice? You're getting up here talking about back in my day, I never saw ADHD and autism and Tourette's and when I was a kid. Bitch, you was a fucking kid, so you wouldn't know what the fuck it was anyway. Okay, because you was a goddamn kid. First of all, while you up here talking about how, basically this is taking up a lot of money, the medication used for this shit or whatever, it's wasting money and shit. Oh, you just make me so mad. How do your kids feel? And then your wife, Cheryl Hines, don't ever think that you finna get some work, okay, that's actually gonna go somewhere. Baby, we don't give a fuck no more. Your husband, how are you with this man? He is weird as shit. And y'all really wanted him to be on the ballot and be a candidate for the ones that was like, we can vote third party. Because it was a couple of y'all that follow me who was saying, he's an option. You want that dumbass to be an option to be the fucking president? We already got that other man. And then you put him in there too? This, what? Ain't got an MD, PhD, ain't got a medical license or nothing to even be speaking on anything medical, but you talking about it. And then you talking about what needs money and what don't need money. Baby, you got something yourself, okay? You got something yourself and you need to get your shit checked out. What the fuck happened? Who hit him in his throat? Because I don't understand why that man sound like that. And how long has he been sounding like that? Did you get married to that man sounding like that? Because that is unattractive. That is very much unattractive. Like, what? You get up there talking about medical issues that you don't know shit about, and you sound the way that you... I'm upset and I'm tired. Okay? What is going on with the economy? What is going on? And then Trump talk about we getting the economy in shape so we won't be out here looking like clowns. Can nobody clown us? Bitch, we already look like clowns. Because of you. Because of you, because of Elon, and because of everybody else in your cabinet. Okay? That's just what it is. And the fools that follow him. Y'all got us looking like goddamn clowns. But anyway, moving on from that. R.I.P. Pope Francis. Okay, what else was going on that we might want to talk about before we get into it? Oh yeah, I'll maybe this will pick me up a little bit. Mama Tina got a book out and it's called The Matriarch. Okay, and it's actually pretty good. I ain't even gonna hold you. I guess the book it came out yesterday. I'm in Act 2. And, this is a pretty big book. Bitch, I don't mean to call Miss Tina a bitch, but, lady, you actually wanted this book to be like 1,000 pages. In the way that it reads, in the way that, it goes, you could tell that she could have kept going and going and going, because Mama's detail-oriented. This book is over 400 pages. It's like 400 goddamn too long. Okay, but I'm reading it, right? And my thing is, you wanted it to be 1,000 pages. Girl, please, we're not finna read no dictionary. If that's the case, make a documentary. That's what you should have did. That would have been cute too. But the book is actually good. Okay, the book is actually good. Now I'm gonna summarize when I got up to. The first act, I do like how she got it in Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Bitch, you and your daughter, y'all the same. That's cute or whatever. You trying to be like your daughter trying to be like you. That's cute. Inspiration from each other. But Mama Tina was a badass kid. She was bad as fuck. Mama Tina got arrested, and I really felt bad at one point because, I didn't know that her parents, first of all, I didn't know her parents was that old when she got born. The motherfuckers was in their 40s, okay? And they got sick around the same time. They was sick around her wedding, and that was crazy. But the part that really got me with them growing up, the fact that an incident happened with her brother, and the cops was called, and basically the cops was called on him accidentally, and they basically beat his ass up and brought him back bruised the next day, right? They was so terrified. Mind you, this is back in the day when segregation was still segregation, okay? And down in the South, bitch, they brought his ass back, and they were so worried. They thought that they was gonna kill the son, kill the brother, finally bring him back. The next day, they were so worried about it. He was bruised the fuck up. He was beat the fuck up and everything. And ever since, because they stood up to the cops, them white cops or whatever, and then the black cop, you's a bitch, okay, because you ain't step in. But no, you still could have stood up a little bit. You probably stopped him from killing him, so I ain't gonna say all that. But ever since then, like, the cops was really targeting him. I mean, they tried to accuse Tina and her friend being a little hook on the street, lock them up or whatever. At one point, Tina talked back to the cop. They didn't, the same cop, and then had the nerve to say, "Oh, you so-and-so, I beat your brother ass. That's why I fucked his ass up." I said, "Oh my God, that's so messed up." Threw her ass in jail, right? Because she was like, "Because you ain't going to do shit." Threw her ass up in jail. Why she up there making friends with the Sallys up in there? You up there making friends with the girls in the jail? Who does that? And then they telling her, "Girl, stay overnight. It'll get the bond charges down a little bit lower." She was like, "Okay, well, I'm going to stay overnight like this a goddamn sleepover." I said, "Excuse me, bitch, get me out of here." Okay. Also, what we learned is, so far, Matthew knows he been cheating throughout the whole relationship. And it explains a lot of stuff. And she did say she come from a line of women that stay with motherfuckers that be just doing that because that's what they was taught to do. I said, oh my goodness. And the part, like, it's not even surprising that he was cheating throughout the whole relationship, even prior to the wedding, to the marriage or whatever. The part that got me was when, first of all, she didn't even want to get pregnant with Solange because she didn't want to be with him. She left him multiple times and then came right the fuck back. Girl, you leave me, bitch, it's over and done with. Okay, that's just what it is. I ain't got time for all that. Okay, we don't have time to be packing, unpacking, picking, unpacking. One and done, okay? But that's what she said. One and done, bitch, because you out here doing all this shit or whatever. And then when she got pregnant with Solange and then she had to have a baby, she was up in that hospital for 3 days. This motherfucker came down and said, "Well, I got a convention to go to in Atlanta." She like, "Wait a minute, bitch, we about to go home. The baby's first night home, you finna be gone?" Took them home, went down to Atlanta, and she said, "I know that he's not just going down to Atlanta for a freaking convention. He's probably going down there because he got another bitch down there." I said, whoa, that is fucked up. I said, you know what, Matthew knows, you did give us Beyonce, you did give us Solange, but you will forever be a trash ass, dirty ass motherfucking nigga for that. Okay? Forever in a day. Forever in a fucking day. That was disgust. That was disgusting to me. But, then it gets into the teachers that them kids had, and I'm talking about Beyonce, Kelly, and Solange. It get into the history of Solange, Kelly, how they came into the play. But listen, them motherfucking teachers were so goddamn racist, and they were some goddamn haters. They really was hating their ass off, and I want to know if they still alive and what they got to say now, and looking at their success, because they was black girls, and they was made to feel like, oh, you shouldn't feel confident in yourself and all that. The book is good as shit so far, right? I'm waiting to get to the part. I'm almost up to the part practically when she divorced Matthew ass. Okay, bitch, you better put up in there because he brought a goddamn baby up in here, a sad baby. I feel so bad for the sad babies. Okay, and that's so sad. Lil Knox and the other little girl. You couldn't just do one. The one you cheated throughout the whole relationship. She left you, got a whole apartment, and then came back to your ass, and you still cheated. You went to therapy, you still cheated, and then not only did you cheat, then you bring an outside, you get a person pregnant. Then you do it again, and you get another person pregnant. So you got a son and a daughter out there, and I feel bad for those kids because again, they probably ain't got no relationships with their big sisters, and I can't even be mad at them for that because, granted, the kids ain't do nothing, but we don't know. We don't know. I just feel bad. I just feel bad because that's really messed up. That's really messed up, bringing kids into this type of situation because you can't keep your dick in your pants. That is trifling. But I got to finish it. It is real cute. Also, she did a little interview, was talking about how, she had breast cancer. Mama Tina had breast cancer, bitch. Stage 1. She said during the pandemic, she had forgot to go. Well, because the pandemic was going on, she kind of skipped her mammogram. And then she skipped that one mammogram and had forgot to go back, And when she finally went back, and mind you, this around the time the Renaissance, they was getting ready for the Renaissance tour. And during the tour, she had to go get a little bit of surgery for her little left titty. And it was cute because it didn't spread. It was stage 1. They got it early enough so that they could just do a little surgery on it. It'll be all right. I'd be scared of shit. I hope Solange and Beyonce and everybody else that I can't even say all of the women, the men too, because the daddy had breast cancer a few years ago too. Okay, I hope they really went and got themselves tested. Because, Beyonce got some big titties now. Okay, them kids did her body good. But, that's a lot of extra density, extra fat, you know what I'm saying? Extra tissue and shit. Go get them shits checked out, all right? See if you got a gene or something since it's on both sides of your goddamn family. Ain't nobody got time for all that. But shout out to my breast cancer survivor. Fuck cancer and all that shit. But the book is cute. The book is cute so far. Tina, you talk a lot. Tina, you talk a lot. Tina was about to fight this bitch. Like, this bitch was like, you Tina? Yeah, and I'm finna fight you. Okay, I don't know who the fuck you are, but if you want to throw down, bitch, we could throw down. I said, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. We Capricorns, bitch. We don't fucking back the fuck down, okay? I don't know who the hell you is, but you want to throw hands, let's throw hands, okay? Tina said, I went to the side, I was pulling my hair up. I said, I know that's the fuck right, bitch. And she just like all our grandparents and mamas taking snacks into the movie theater. When I heard that, I said, relatable. Okay, moving. When y'all was going to the movie theaters with y'all mamas and y'all grandmamas back in the day, this is when you couldn't bring food in there. Because listen, when I went to go see Sinners, I brought a whole meal in there. I'm not even going to lie to you. I brought a meal. And it really wasn't a meal, but it was some food. It was some food. I was not for the better food there. Okay, they don't check bags or nothing like that. I just brought the shit up in there. You can bring your own grocery and everything up in there. And I just sat down and I had a good time. I'm saying, enjoyed myself. When you was younger and y'all went to the movie theater, what was the movie theater snacks that they your parents or your grandmama? Because it's always your grandmama. It was always my grandmama snuck up in there. I would never forget. Like my grandma used to have this big ass duffel bag, this big ass bag, right? It's not a duffel, but it was a everyday bag, but it was huge. It was like a Barney bag, bitch. Because she used to take all my cousins and us, and it was a bunch of us to the movie theaters, right? When she take us to the movie theaters, first of all, she'll be cheap sometimes and take us to the dollar movie. Okay, I feel like to the dollar movie. That's when the regular movies then came out. Because this is back in the day for those that don't remember. And some of y'all that's young and wasn't around during this time. Back in the day when the movies came out, the movie stayed in the theater for a good 6 months almost, okay? It stayed in there for a long ass time in the regular theater. And then out here in Chicago, it'll go from the regular theater to like the dollar movie, okay? That means that it had been in the movie theaters for a minute. Ain't nobody really demanding it, so you can go and finally see it for cheap at another theater, right? And then it'll go to like Blockbuster, Hollywood Videos, whatever. You have to get it on the VHS or the DVD, okay? That's just what it was. Oh, that was a time, bitch. It took forever for the shit to get on TV or for you to be able to rent it out for home and all that stuff, but it ain't nothing like it is now. Motherfucking movies be up in the movie theater for 3 weeks and then it's ready to buy on digital. And then some of these movies be in the movie theaters and ready to buy on digital still at the same time. Y'all being greedy, okay? But, my grandma used to have this big ass bag and she'll have some candy up in there. And I know she used to make us some sandwiches. I don't know what it was about. What it was about, my grandma putting some white bread with a little bit of mayonnaise and cheese on there and some little turkey slices on there and a little bit, a couple of lettuce leaves on some, lettuce and tomatoes on the other, put it in a foil paper. And then by the time we get to the movie theater or whatever, it be a little warm and the cheese be melted just naturally, just right. It be so good, so simple, but so good. Like, it felt like we was doing something dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, we up here breaking the law. Okay? Girl just had a whole bag full of snacks and shit. I mean, she was like, bitch, just your lunch. Oh, I miss those times. Imagine my grandma just... I gotta go down there and see her. I ain't seen my grandma since I moved over here. Bitch, it's been like a couple of years. But yeah, that's what's going on. The book is called The Matriarch. It's really good. Shout out to all of y'all. It's been good. Moving on from that, Kanye West. Now I said, I don't even know if I'm shocked by this. And I don't even know if I'm shocked by it or if I even truly 100% believe it. But I do know stuff like this does happen within family. And a lot of people don't, the people talk about kids getting molested within and sexually assaulted in their families by like the adults in their family, like, the parents and the older uncle and older auntie or older cousin. Never do we, well, I ain't gonna say never, but we rarely hear about kids around the same age doing assaulting each other in the family, right? And I don't want to, because this is a touchy subject, because this is something that does happen, but it's just the way that Kanye West wanted to go about putting this out, and it's like, are we sure that he's telling the truth, or is this an episode? And is he just revealing this and this, and people want to give him grace and all this stuff. If this is something to win people over again, like, I don't buy any of the tactics when it comes to Kanye West. He's still an ain't shit motherfucker, and I don't care about him. But he did put out there that a cousin of his, an older cousin of his or something like that, I don't know if he's older or whatever, he is in prison now. And when they were younger, he stumbled upon his father's corn collection or whatever and started acting out, showed his cousin, and then made him to start acting out those acts on each other. And then basically he said, I sucked my cousin dick until the age till I was 14. His words, not mine. Literally, that's what he said. I just, at this point, therapy. It's psychotherapy. 5150. I don't know. And I mean, that's nothing to play with. That's nothing to downplay. But at the same time, it is Kanye West. It's traumatizing. It could be one of the reasons why he is spiraling and going through all this mental anguish or whatever, because he probably was holding that in. But at the same time, what do you want us to do with that information? I don't want to sound insensitive, but is this so that we can have sympathy or empathy for you or whatever? I'm, because it's not to bring awareness, and that's what it is. I would respect it even more if it was to bring awareness and to say, you have to watch your kids, because this is why, and I tell y'all this all the time. Even if I wanted kids, I would not be able to mentally handle having kids in this day and age because of things like this. Because you don't know who you can really, truly trust your kids around. Because you cannot be around, unless you are a stay-at-home parent and it's a two-parent household, you cannot be around your kid 24/7, 365, because you do have to get out and go work, okay? And then you have to worry about the fact that, yeah, you can have them as a baby. Then you get to that point where they got to go to daycare and they're out of your sight. and you hear all these reports about what be happening to these kids at daycare. Either they getting the teachers being neglectful, they coming back with bruises on them, coming back with the hair yanked out and all this stuff, coming back hungry and everything, because again, the teachers are the care providers are being, neglectful or whatever. Then you get into regular school, you don't know whether or not the teacher's finna be doing something, or your babysitter's gonna be doing something, or a family member gonna be doing. I think of those things, right? Because I also not have experienced those things, but I have family members that have experienced those things. And I have a younger, and that pisses me off if he's doing this because for attention, which most likely what it is, or just so we can feel sorry for him, or if he's making this up, because there are some of us who actually have family members or know people who have experienced that type of, assault and sexual trauma at a young age. Currently, a family member's child did that to another family member's child in my family. I'm not going to expound on it because that's family business, but that's why I just don't, and I'm not really surprised that it happened because of the environment that they grew up in and they are currently being raised in. And that is why I don't associate with that side because of that. And it's just like, please, this is not something to take lightly. And I really hope he's not fucking playing games because that's disgusting as shit. All right. And not saying the act is, but the actual playing on people's feelings and sympathy and all that emotions, that's the disgusting part. All right. Get that motherfucker some help. Get them yes people. Well, until he get them yes people away from him, he's a lost cause. I'm just move on from that. And since we talking about stuff like that, Shannon fucking Sharpe, you are the dumbest motherfucker on this planet right about now. Now, I want to say, listen, here's my reaction. Woke up on Monday. Wasn't it Monday? Monday or Tuesday? Monday. One of them days. We get a word saying that Shannon fucking Sharpe is getting sued for $50 million by this girl that had a relationship with him that he met at the gym from, I think, 2024 or probably at the end of 2023, 2024, and to the very beginning of 2025 this year, right? She said that man sexually assaulted her, R-worded her, verbally abused her, physically abused her, all of the things, suing him for $50 million for sexual battery and all of that. I said, you know what, honestly, the abuse allegations, honestly, is not surprising. He was a football player. I hate to say that, but when it comes out that a football player or a sports player is being abusive to their spouse, I am never surprised. It's honestly, in my mind, unfortunately, to be expected, especially the ones that play football. Y'all out there being all bigged up and everything, and you're just throwing your weight around. I just don't be surprised when it happens. I just be like, y'all really take risks being with these niggas, okay? But at the same time, I was like, that's interesting. Then we get that, right? I'm reading, and then it gets down to I was like, oh, I could see. I mean, believe women, right? Then I get to where it say her lawyer is Tony Busby. I said, what? I'm sorry. It's not funny, but I'm just like, after all of the stuff that literally just went down with Jay-Z and him having to drop some of the cases because they said, oh, you can't prosecute some of these cases or whatever, be the lawyer for some of these cases out there in New York because you ain't got the license out there or whatever the freak. And then we've seen that you set up Jay-Z and all that stuff. Oh my God. And the credibility that he lost because of that and how much that became a spectacle and how people really don't respect his ass because of that and take him serious because of that. And you gonna go ahead and still get him as a lawyer. And then you want us, the majority of the public to believe that what you are saying is true. You already put yourself in a position to be doubted because of the lawyer choice. Not because of the allegations, but because of the lawyer choice. Now, listen, I believe him. But I can understand why people that don't believe because of who the lawyer is. Okay? But then they want to say, you know, all of this went down and he decided to put out a statement and allow his lawyer to put out a statement and some text messages. This is how all of this stuff went. It says, statement by Lainey J. Davis, counsel to Shannon Sharpe. And I quote, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're fucking me. All right. This is from Gabriella Zinga. Okay? That's the girl's name. He said this is a text message to Shannon Sharpe, October 7th, 2023. Another one. I know you missed this big juicy ass. $25,000 for each cheek. Now, when I saw the picture of the girl, I said, bitch, what ass? No shade. That's not funny. But girl, I said, what ass? What ass? Now, when I seen the last name and then she said ass, girl, I thought it was a thick Latina. Okay, girl, it's just a mediocre looking white girl, you know, and I mean, it ain't really got she's a white girl and it plays into what he like, okay? But we gonna keep going to what he says. Continue. This lawsuit, mind you, she sent that last one, what I just read, on the 1st of January of this year. Continuation. This lawsuit filed by this lady was orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby, and herself is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortion, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed. In her efforts to extract a large financial settlement, she presented Mr. Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of consensual sexual encounter. We believe the video has been heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. She has refused to provide a copy of the full unedited version of the recording to Mr. Sharpe's legal team. To set the record straight, we are releasing several of her text messages, her own explicit text messages to Mr. Sharpe that clearly indicate the nature of their relationship was consensual and sexual in nature. And in many cases, initiated by her with specific and graphic requests. Contrary to the allegations she makes in her lawsuit, consensual sex continued until January 2nd, 2025, the day after she asked for $25,000 per cheek, as quoted above from her text message to Mr. Sharpe. There are other examples of texts from her. For example, only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want to. Then you can do whatever you want to me. Bitch, what? That was November 23. I want to put my tongue in your asshole and then marry you. Let me tell you something. That was January 12th, 2024. One thing about it, two things for sure. I eat ass. I eat women ass. Putting my tongue, if I was heterosexual, would I ever put my tongue in a man's ass? Absolutely not. Because y'all don't be cleaning all the time. Probably a gay man's ass. I probably would. But not, no. Absolutely the fuck not. And then you said to marry you? Okay. That's my daddy. Fuck. I want you to put a big black baby in me. Now, at that moment right then and there, I cut the fuck out and I said, excuse me. And you continued on a relationship, whether it was sexual in nature or whether it was an actual relationship or whatever the fuck it was, you continued that on. And she said that shit August 6, 2024. You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. And that was the moment where I said, Shannon Sharpe, this is no longer our problem. I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry. Listen, and we not laughing at the abuse allegation, whatever. This is not funny. This is just the fucking audacity. Okay? The audacity. And that's where I clocked the fuck out. Because now you want to say, because you are literally being accused of R-wording this woman and sexual battery and being abusive and all of this stuff, right? And so your counteract to prove and disprove that this is not what the case is, because your relationship was very much BDSM sexual in nature. You put out these text messages and you think that that's going to prove what? What does that prove exactly? Oh, that y'all are little freaks. And ain't nothing wrong with being a little freak, because baby, I told you I like to be choked. I choke you too if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You know, you want to whip chains, all that shit, baby, we can do it if it's consensual. So you say that's consensual, okay. And then what bothered me about this, him putting this out, and then this is where people that don't want to believe, it's always, oh, you trying to tear black men down, or, you know, they always land and all this stuff, trying to make excuses for, who is that? And say, well, obviously she lying because look at the text message or whatever. Just because you put these text messages out where we don't see your reply, and these are just a few text messages here and there, and just because a person has said is alleging that they have been abused, but then you're like, why did you stay? This 2025. You know exactly why they stay. You know that people be up in relationships and still be going down. They leave, they come back. I literally just told y'all about Mama Tina. The nigga was cheating throughout the whole relationship. She left so many goddamn times and came back until she was finally done. She wasn't finished for real. And that's what happens in relationships with abuse. We should already know that when people be in an abusive relationship, is you got something that's going to lead, that it only takes one good time for you to put your hands, for you to talk to me crazy, and I'm out the motherfucking door, okay, and never coming back. And then you should also know that people are going to go back to their abuses. It happens all the time, multiple times. So let's not act dumb and not think just because he put these text messages out, it proves anything, because it absolutely does not. Yeah, it proves that during that time that y'all were actually good, y'all was some freaks. Y'all was getting it in. Okay, and you into race play, bitch. And that's disgusting as fuck. All right. There's a lot of black men, unfortunately, that's into race play with these white non-black people. Like, are you serious? That is disgusting. Like, you really get off on that? Ew, I really want to know what the psychology of that behind. What is that? What is that? I want to see your big black cock. Y'all love it when a white bitch or a non-black person say some shit like that to y'all. Oh my God. The fact that y'all like the word cock is just really disgusting to me. I hate that word so much. It ain't no fucking cock. It's a goddamn rooster. I hate it when y'all say a cock for a rooster too. It's a fucking rooster, bitch. And it ain't no fucking cock. It's a goddamn dick. Okay? That's what it is, bitch. But anyway, you got that going on. And that does not excuse the fact that probably on outside of those good times, there were some bad times that you probably did put your hands on that girl, that you probably did take advantage of that girl, and that you probably did talk disgusting to that girl. And then the audio come out. One audio come out, and he was like, bitch, you keep on saying manipulation, I'll choke the shit out of you. I was like, whoa. And then, of course, here go the people. Oh, that's AI. And if you recording somebody, that means that you actually trying to find something. You trying to set somebody up or whatever. No, that's not necessarily what that means, boo-boo. If it gets to a point where somebody is recording a conversation, it's they're doing it for the sake of themselves and so that they can have evidence, because obviously the shit been going on for a long time. But wait, I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. Okay? After this. Because then another recording comes out. Mind you, that first recording comes out, and then earlier, either today or yesterday, he comes out with a video, and he basically tried to pull the fucking race card and said this is a ploy and this is a setup and a shakedown, you know, the same way Tony Busby did Jay-Z. I said absolutely the fuck not. Please don't put Jay-Z name up in this shit, and please don't mention, oh, you know, coming for a black man when you actively and your preference is non-black people. You prefer the snow bunnies, okay? That's on you. Monique got on your ass when she came on Club Shay Shay about that. Get you a nice Christian black gal, okay? You said no, that's not what I like. Okay. And then what make it so stupid, like, you really get up here, you play that card, and you think that we're going to have sympathy for you, and we're going to, no. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, people. Okay? And you're actively engaging in race play, because that's what you did. You showed us that's what you into. You still associated with this girl who said she want a big black baby from you. Put that big black dark gravy in me. Are you serious? Come on now, Shannon. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Who advised you to put that video out? That hurt you. That hurt you more than anything. And then to say that, it's a shakedown and all of that stuff. Now I will tell you this. I believe it's both. And I said it on social media, on Twitter, and I'm going to say it here. I believe it's a bit of both. And especially after this second video came out, the audio came out, because he was like, they're threatening to put out a portion of a sex tape that's 10 minutes long. Now, I tell him, go ahead and put the whole thing out that's unedited and everything, and show the whole true nature of it. Now, my thing is, you are 56 or 57 years old. And this girl is 19 at the time when you first met her. She's 21 now. And you made sure to put out there that she's the OnlyFans person, right? And I really feel like you put the OnlyFans out there to make her seem less than to the public too, like, oh, she do sex work. So basically we shouldn't really feel, anything about her, because this is the type of work that she engages in and she get paid for it. It's the same way how you have serial killers who go after women who were prostitutes and stuff like that, because they feel like, oh, nobody will give a damn about them being missing because they're the lowest of the lows, and because nobody respects them because they do sex work like that. That's the same equivalence in my mind when I heard all of that, when you threw that OnlyFans out there. Because you know how motherfuckers are these days, especially. Yeah, it's like, oh, free will, and, be cool with your sexuality and all that stuff, and you do whatever you want with your body as long as you're safe. And then all of a sudden, when you find out somebody do OnlyFans, you look down on them. I don't look down on people that do sex work, because if you're getting money from it, and if it's safe or whatever, you do what you gotta fucking do. Who the fuck am I to judge, okay? But at the end of the day, and then it's making it seem as if when you find out somebody that do sex work, it's almost as if people want to believe, oh, because you engage in sex work and you engage in certain acts or whatever, you cannot be abused. You cannot be R-word. Yes, the fuck you can. Just because I like some stuff, and just because we did some stuff a couple of times, if I'm not in the mood to do that right then and there, and you still want to do that, and you force yourself, bitch, that is R-wording. That is sexual assault. Whether we done it before, if I fucking say no, and I didn't come there for that, that is what it is. Okay? It's so fucked up in 2025 that there are grown-ass adults that don't understand that. But at the same time, it's hard for me to feel anything for Mr. Shannon Sharpe, because you are disgusting as fuck, because you are almost 60 years old and you're fucking around with somebody that is a child. I don't give a fuck if 18 is legal. I don't give a fuck if 19 is legal. You're still a fucking teenager. You're still a goddamn child. You're not an adult. Okay? Yeah, you out here doing what you're doing or whatever. And I look at people disgusting who are out here having relationships with anybody with a teen to 24 years old or 23. No, I'll say 22. Either fucking way, it's still too fucking young. I would not. I'm 38. Okay? I'm 38. What the fuck do I look like talking to somebody that's 19? Talking to somebody that's 18? Yeah, it may be legal, but that's disgusting as shit in my eyes. Because what the fuck do we got in common? I've lived a little bit longer than you, probably seen some things a little bit longer than you, experienced some things a little bit longer to you, a little bit more mature than you, and what the fuck we got to talk about, baby? I'm not finna be out here to be your sugar mama. Absolutely the fuck not. The only thing that's between us at that point is pussy. That's it. That's it. I am not here for that. I always found that shit disgusting as fuck. Okay? Disgusting as fuck. And then the way that y'all trying to bring Tracy Ellis Washington, because she said she date younger men. Tracy Ellis Washington's in her 50s. She's probably dating 40-somethings. That's younger men. And it's a whole totally fucking different. Because you got this black man supposedly getting tore down because he's a black man and he's trying to get shaken down. So you want to bring in Tracy Ellis Ross to try to tear this black woman down. You know, like, come on. That's just, you know it's two different fucking things. You know it's two different fucking things, okay? Like, he's dating he's fucking a child. That's just what it is, okay? Her frontal lobe ain't all the way fucking developed. Not at no goddamn 18, 19, 20, 21. All right? And your kids are older than her. Your kids are older than her. All right? And I look at people who subscribe to the OnlyFans of these young kids. It's just like when Bad Baby turned 18 and she did that OnlyFans and all the motherfuckers start coming. You guys are disgusting as shit. And that says a whole bunch about you. That y'all be waiting for these young girls to turn legal so that you can publicly, legally prey upon them. And that's literally what he did. And then what can you do when men of power, of status, especially, and you don't even gotta have no power, no status, but you're older or whatever, you got the gift of gab and all that shit, you groom them, you can manipulate them, you can control them. That's why you get with somebody so fucking young like that. And he thought that he can actually get away with controlling that girl, and that's just what it was. I do believe it's some type of manipulation that was going on. I do believe it was some form of abuse and some control going on. I also believe that bitch, she came up into that motherfucker like, well, hold on. I want to get a little bit of cash out of this, but we not finna do all of this. Well, since you want to go there and I figured out your game, pay me for my motherfucking pain. I want $50 million. I want $50 million. So yeah, I feel like it's a bit of both. I feel like abuse, manipulation, all that shit was going on. And I also feel like it was a little bit of a shakedown at the same time. And now that you got Tony Busby in the mix, I definitely feel like that too. Okay. Mind you, she put out some text messages or whatever, like, you anally raped me or whatever, and I didn't want to. I said, oh my God, what is going on? And then the other video that came out, the audio that came out earlier today, talking about some, basically, he was finna come back to LA, and she was like, well, I guess I gotta act right. So you won't beat my ass or something like that. He was like, yeah, you want me to beat your ass in public? And he wasn't joking. He was like, oh, for the big black man to beat my ass in public? Yeah, how that look? The big black man beat the little small white woman. I said, oh my God. Shit. I said, you know what? At that moment in time, like, let me tell you something, Shannon. If I ever had some doubts that you could have possibly did this shit that she said, that was all he braced right in there, in that little bit of an audio. I know it was a little snippet. It was like a minute or so long, minute and a half or whatever, almost 2. But you know what it is. You know what it is, and you know how society look at black men when it comes to white women. They look at them as the damsel in distress, and you the big bad bully. So of course, a certain majority gonna be on her side in the first place, all because she's white. Why would you put yourself in that situation? In 2025, with all of these different allegations coming out against these other people that you have been seeing, and you have put yourself in this situation to be accused of doing this with this young child. I don't give a fuck. This young child, okay? And anybody that think that is okay, that he is almost 60 years old, fucking around with a 19, 20-year-old, something is wrong with you, and you need to be checked and probably put on a list, okay? Honestly. My thing is, also, then it comes out and it says, you want to say it's a shakedown, but then your own lawyer puts out there that y'all have been in negotiations for a while now, and you even offered to settle with her for $10 million. But it's a shakedown. You offered $10 million to this woman, to this girl. And then all of a sudden you said negotiations and everything stopped, and then all of a sudden this comes out that she want to sue for $50 million. I don't have it. I don't. And this is not the same thing as Jay-Z, so please don't put out Jay-Z and try to compare. The only thing that's the same is the fact that the lawyers are the same. Two totally different situations, okay? Want to know what the different situation is? It's the simple fact that Jay-Z, all the evidence clearly showed that this was a lie. They got evidence, at least the audio. We know audio can be manipulated or whatever, but bitch, that's your fucking voice, nigga. And yeah. And then you put out there your own fucking lawyer representation, put out there that you actually would sit down and having settlement talks. You wanted to give her $10 million. This is not the same. This is not the same. You might as well just go ahead and pay up. I'm pretty sure she ain't gonna get that 50 mil, but I'm pretty sure she gonna get something. But anyway, how y'all feel about Shannon Sharpe? Like, you put yourself in this situation, honestly. I don't know what you want me to do. Moving on from that, the other topic that I want to talk about, there's this podcast called My Future Wifey, right? I've seen clips of it here and there, okay? Recently, there was this clip that was going around, one of the recent podcast interviews that he has done is with this couple. They are pastors and First Lady. Pastor Reginald Steele and his wife, Kelly Steele. He's the founder and a senior pastor of this church called Kingdom in the Valley of Christian Church. I think it's down in Phoenix, Arizona. Either way. The clip that's been circulating, and I don't even want to go and watch the whole thing because even from this clip, I already got everything that I need to know about them and how they operate. And how I just don't understand why. This is why, even in the Bible, it says, beware of false prophets. This is partly why church get a bad name, because there are so many false prophets. And it makes the actual good pastors and the good people that's in the church get lumped in. And get lumped in with the bad. Get generalized. And I'm one of the ones that knows that when they're bad, they're also good. So everybody is not like that. But I really, really want all these phony ass, disgusting ass pastors or whatever, these people in the church to keep getting exposed. I need them to keep weeding them out. And then I need the people that actively know what's going on and continues to still, of their own free will, follow them. I need you to tell me why. You get on this podcast with your wife, and your wife is sitting there talking about how, yeah, we had some tough time in the marriage or whatever, and before I got with him, and before, I didn't know God, he brought me to God, and I used to get upset at him doing this and doing that, but then it's like, I don't get upset anymore, when he disrespects me, and he calls me out my name, and, tell me I'm not worth it, or I ain't shit, or that he hates me, and he don't want to be with me. Now, it doesn't even bother me, because I know that this is what I'm in for. I know my mission. I know what I'm supposed to be here for. Now it gets to the point like, if he's going out to see his side chick, I iron his clothes for him to go see his side chick. And at one point I did want to go back. I said, maybe I should just go and watch the whole thing. I can't. Because then another clip came out because dude said that the host of the podcast was like, what is going to be your response when people see this and they be like, why would you put yourself in this situation and stay with somebody like this or whatever? She said, well, that's why they're single and I'm not. Something along that line. Baby, she said that shit like she got a prize. She said that shit like she's the prize. And this is a form of abuse, religious abuse, marital abuse, whatever type of emotional abuse, mental abuse, psychological abuse. That man has torn her down and built her back up in the image and the person that he wants her to be. To the point that she lost all fucking common sense. You are ironing his clothes so he can go see his side chick, and you know it, and you're okay with it. And I'm just like, and I literally said, I need a horror movie about religious psychosis, religious brainwashing. Some people are saying, nah, we need a documentary and all that. We can do both. We can do both, okay? And then some of y'all was talking about comedies. Y'all was talking about Honk for Jesus. That was a goddamn comedy, okay? I need something that's going to be going deep, all right? Because religious psychosis is scary as fuck. It is scary as hell, you know? And I just don't understand how come, especially like with black folks. Let's take, for instance, the movie Sinners that just came out. All of a sudden, when we get shows like this, we get movies like this, we get shows like this, or whatever that's for us, by us, in a different genre field. And let's go horror, okay? And it's like you go into a movie theater and you're going into a movie that's called Sinners. And then you already know that it's supposed to be quote unquote a horror movie. And then once you go in there, you want to say, oh, this was too heavy on my soul. Or, oh, God told me, my spirit told me to leave. And, you know, don't go see this or whatever. And woo, 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 the spirit is this, the spirit is that. Well, if your spirit was so in tune, how come your spirit told you to go into a movie that's called Sinner that you already knew was a horror movie? I cannot stand when these Christians get so overly, uberly sanctified and holier than thou. Oh, I can't do that because that's demonic. That's this, that's that. But I'm pretty sure you didn't watch Twilight. You probably didn't watch some Harry Potter shit. You probably didn't watch all these other stuff. You probably watch white horror movies or whatever. But when it comes to us, doing some stuff, and it's always us that want to call out our stuff being demonic. You don't do that shit to the other people, okay? And we don't really see other people doing that to theirs like that. It's just us. Everybody want to be so deeply in tune and this is demonic, this is that, this is this. When in reality, it's not. It's not. Okay? Not everything is demonic. Just say you don't want to watch it. I hate that. What's demonic is having a pastor who literally is in the pulpit preaching to a whole congregation and being blatantly disrespectful to his wife. You're preaching the word of God, and yet you're disobeying God. Thou shalt not commit adultery. And ma'am, let me tell you something. In the Bible, it said there are just cause for divorce. Infidelity is one. You don't have to stay and put up with that shit. And the reason why you do and anybody else who does is because you feel like you're unworthy. You feel like this is what you deserve. You're settling because you probably feel like, and that person that you was in that relationship probably made you feel as though nobody else will want you. Or you already had that in your mind that because you went through so much trying to get into a relationship and you finally got into a relationship and you don't want to have to go through all of that trauma and all of the pain of trying to get into a relationship into another one that you don't want to go through that no more. So you decide to just settle for this. I've been there. Trust and believe. I've been there. So I know. Settling when I know I deserve better. Settling because I'm thinking, this is the only time I'm going to ever get somebody to actually love me. Be with somebody like me. You know? So you stay longer than you should. You put up with stuff longer than you should. Because at this point, your self-worth is in the trash. It's in the fucking grinder. I've been there. Okay? Like, girl, what? I just saw the light, bitch. Okay? I'm out there, bitch. I deserve better. That's why I can't do... That's why the shit at the beginning pissed me off. But anyway, you allowing this person to manipulate you. This is a form of religious manipulation and control and all that stuff. Using God in the wrong way. And God is tired. God is fucking tired. And y'all think that y'all going to heaven or whatever. No, you're going to hell for that. I hate to say that. The way that you condemning and you judging other people and you out here living foul. And what made it so worse is I go on TikTok. There are so many people from the congregation that are coming out and saying, Oh, yeah. They talk about their relationship all the time. And he's very fucking disrespectful to her in front of the whole congregation. And she sits there and laugh at it and let him do it. Baby, the world is lost. The world is lost. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, y'all. Y'all don't have to settle, please. I know for some of us, it's kind of hard to get into relationships because either you guys, insecurities, you're self-conscious, you feel because you don't look a certain way, you're not a certain size or all of this or whatever, or maybe people don't, your personality is a turn off or all this stuff or whatever. That does not mean that the first person that come up to you and say, hey, what's up? Can I get your number? That don't mean that you got to hurry up and jump into a relationship with them. No, that don't mean that you got to lower your standards and just go to whoever like you, even if you don't really like them like that, because you just want to be in a relationship. That's not love. No. Love yourself more, okay? To not do that and allow yourself to be in some shit like that. Bitch, let me move the fuck on. Because I'm talking to myself too. I had to give myself a pep talk, okay? Moving on from that. But yeah, I ain't even really want to get deep like that. That's crazy. Speaking of love, girl, in football, Loving Football, starring Jalen Hurts and his new wife. Oh, Jalen Hurts really hurt and broke a lot of hearts. The girls was in their feelings when they found out that Jalen Hurts, he is now married. He is a married man. Him and his wife, is her name Bree Burrows? Well, it's now Mrs. Hurts. Okay. Oh, congratulations. They're a cute couple. I like them. Moving on from that, the Department of Education, any of y'all defaulted on y'all loans? Y'all defaulted on them school loans? Y'all not paying? Baby, let me tell you something. I had to think about it and see if I'm in this number. Because when I started doing my taxes, let me tell you something. I hope y'all did y'all taxes. Tax day was on the 15th, right? Do you know when I did my taxes? I did my taxes April the 13th. Imagine it took me less than an hour to do it. It took me less than an hour to do it. And you want to know why? And I say this all the time. We're like, why do you hesitate? Why do you procrastinate to do your taxes? Because I know I'm going to owe. Because I know I'm not getting a refund. Sure enough, I mean, I didn't owe as much as I did last year. I went down significantly. I said, oh, okay, what's going on? That's because my 9 and 10, I ain't make as much on, YouTube fluctuates or whatever. That's why that went down a little bit, which was fine with me. I'm good either way. But at the same time, it's like, girl, I already know I'm gonna owe, so I ain't even in no hurry. I do it at the last minute. I went through to try to get the stuff for my student loans or whatever, because I ain't even gonna hold you. After I paid off all that other stuff, when I got that settlement from my daddy passing away, I paid off all that shit, bitch. I ain't had no debt. That student loan, the payment went up. They wanted damn near almost $1,000 a month. Bitch, you shitting me? I said, never mind. I didn't get rid of the other loans or whatever, but that federal loan, fuck you mean? I said no. So when I go look on there so I can get the information for my taxes, oh, they said, girl, your loan was already in deferment till 2026, June. I said, oh, okay, because I sure enough haven't been paying. Now, I said, I'm thinking about this. Because my shit is in deferment, does that mean that they not gonna come after me, huh? Because, baby, they saying they going after everybody, the peoples that defaulted on the loans, that ain't been paying on the loans. They said they finna make it so that they can garnish your paychecks and your wages and all that shit. That's fucked up. My thing of it is, you want to get rid of the Department of Education, bitch, get rid of the loans too. That should be a part of it. That should be fucking a part of it. What the hell? All because you want to undo everything that Biden did and everything. That's so fucking petty. Okay, they are really just messing up the country. It really is. You doing all of this shit at a time where everything is up high. Housing, food, and everybody's still not getting paid what to be able to sustain all this. That is fucking crazy and disgusting if you ask me. You don't care about the people. You care about yourself. Trash. People losing farms. People getting deported. Now, people finna get their wages cut and taken out because they defaulted on the loan from 1997. That is fucking crazy. Yeah. Oh, sometimes all you can do is laugh from being angry as shit. Cause girl, this is crazy. Mia Thornton, anybody care? Ring ring, read all about it. Extra, extra. Read all about it. Looking for that one love. That's my song. I used to like Immature and IMX back in the day. I really did. LDB was my nigga. Y'all should already know that. LDB was my nigga back in the day. Everything you look is like, girl, there it is. But anyway, Mia Thornton, lying, Mia be lying. You know what Carlos King be saying, Mia be lying. She came out the other day and she put a whole statement out and said that, girl, she ain't coming back to Real Housewives of Potomac. And she said, listen, we done already moved down to Atlanta. Now, I know she back with Ink. I know they working together, quote unquote. So my thing of it is, you moved down to Atlanta with Ink, or did you move down to Atlanta with Ink Gordon too? Which one is it, girl? That is messy as shit. But at the same time, oh well. It's like you're not gonna be missed for real, for real. You didn't make that big of an impact, in my opinion, to actually be missed. I mean, if we see her on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta or something else, on one of these other reality shows or something that pops up in Atlanta, I wouldn't be surprised. But, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Speaking of Real Housewives of Potomac, girl, they denied Karen early release on a break release or whatever. They said even though she got a little bit of a good behavior, she ain't finna get out anytime soon. They'll probably let her out in November, but not yet. Karen been up in jail for like 2 months now. Y'all realize that the Grand Dame is sitting up in jail for 2 months. Damn, bitch. Oh, don't drink and drive, y'all. Don't drink and drive. Also, y'all been watching Damon Wayans and his son's show, Papa's House? Well, sorry to let you know, it's been canceled after one season. Damn. Can't have nothing. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't watched it yet. I was waiting for the episodes to build up because I like to watch. These days, I find myself liking to watch stuff because I got spoiled by when Netflix put out a whole. Is it Netflix that do that? Either Netflix or Hulu. One of these, when the streaming service put the whole season out, I get spoiled by that. I realized that I have gotten spoiled by that because, baby, I will sit there and I will literally watch because I need to know what happened next. And so I've been literally doing that with a lot of the shows. Like, I'm not watching them unless I have to review and talk about. I have to go watch the Never Met. I didn't even realize the season 2 had came on. I gotta go catch up on that because I did say at one point I was gonna review it, but I'm a few episodes behind apparently. I didn't even know the season. I don't even watch regular TV no more like that. So I didn't even know. I gotta catch up on that. Papa's House was in my queue, and that's probably why I got canceled because we wasn't watching it when it's supposed to be watching it. And I gotta blame myself too because that's kind of messed up. And I did want to watch it, and I'm still gonna go watch it. Because I seen the clip where him and Damon Jr. was in court, and Vivica Fox was the judge. That shit was funny as hell. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. That shit was funny to me. Okay, but I'm mad. Oh, black people can't have shit, bitch. Also, speaking of the Real Housewives, Kelly, girl, you just got on the show and you already getting sued. The landlord of that building, for her second location or a different location. I guess it's the location that probably we saw on the show that they was trying to open up. Girl, she getting sued. She getting sued for rent, back rent. Now, baby, this is the same thing that you tried to get Candy for. Candy said absolutely the fuck not. And she cleared that shit up real quick. Oh, no, we don't owe shit. Okay, so let's stop playing there. But with this one, Kelly said, this is for the location that's underway. And she blames that it's the divorce-related expenses that's adding up, and the situation is being sorted out. Basically, she owes $101,140.64. Why that doesn't sound right coming out? Okay. And then she also owes an additional $13,453. Girl, y'all be opening up shit and can't even do stuff like that. I never thought about being a business owner, because it's like, what would I open up? What would be the business that I would want to do, like a brick and mortar or whatever type of situation? And then if I did have that idea as to if I wanted to open up an actual business, whether it's a restaurant, a shopping thing or whatever, boutique or something like that, I don't know, whatever. It's like, I'd be too scared to do some stuff like that, because I'm the type of person, I think about every aspect of it. And what if this happens? I'm a what if. I'm a what if you to death, okay? Because am I gonna have enough money for this? Am I gonna have enough money for that? If I just so happen to slack off this one time, will that affect my bottom line? Will I get sued for this? Will I be able to recover from this if this happens? I'm one of those type of person, okay? And yeah, shit like that scares me, but I gotta break up out of that. I really do. And also, last thing I want to talk about, Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields is a boxer. 2-time Olympic gold medalist, right? I know she got 2 of them bitches. She got 2 Olympic medals, right? Why are you literally going back and forth with a bitch from Baddies off of the Zeus Network? You put out there that you was approached to be on Baddies, that Natalie Lunn wanted you to be on Baddies, but you said only if they can make it so that the girls can't sue if she was to get into a fight with one of them hoes and they get fucked up and they can't sue. Well, of course that's not gonna happen. So yeah, because you're a fucking Olympian. You're an Olympian. An Olympic winner. Not only an Olympian, but you're a winner, bitch. So your hands are a little bit lethal, a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then you going back and forth with one of the girls on there. What's her name? Tashiki or some shit like that. I guess she's one of the best fighters or something. I don't watch that shit because I don't watch that shit. I'm too old for that. All right, like I'm too old. I'm too fucking mature for that stupid shit. Not saying because I know half y'all probably watch it. I can't. I ain't gonna say I used to watch it back in the day when it actually was more than just fighting. But when I saw that it was just gonna be about fighting every single fucking episode, I clocked out. It was only so much that I can take. But yeah, you have a real career, and you're going back and forth with somebody who don't. Somebody who fight just to fucking fight. And baby girl, just because you do have medals and you are this boxer, there's a difference between being a boxer and a street fighter. Like a hood bitch fighter. Okay? One play way dirtier than the other, to be honest. Alright? And just because your hands got hands in the boxing ring, that don't mean you got hands like that in the street. It's 2 different things. Some people got both, but some people got one or the other. You know what I'm saying? One is trained and all that stuff, and one just wilding out and it ain't no fucking rules for them. Alright? Now, you, again, are established. You had a fucking movie recently made about you, and you're lowering yourself to be on social. Okay, use your social media the way that you want to use your social media, but to go back and forth with a bitch that don't even fucking matter, that ain't got shit going on for herself, I don't give a fuck what she got. She ain't got shit going on for herself. Because if all you known for is fighting bitches, you don't have really nothing going on for yourself. And not fighting bitches, like, you're getting medals for it. You're getting money for it, like big sums of money that you don't really have to do all this shit no more. You are lowering yourself to do some shit like that. Like, girl, come the fuck on. That's embarrassing. And then you literally going back and forth with this bitch. She shouldn't even be in your psyche. She shouldn't even be. Anyway, girl, Papoose, what the fuck? You want to know who would never do that? I would say Remy Ma would never do that because she'll probably shoot first. But no, because then she got into it with her online too. That's because she crashed out that one time. She crashed out that one time. But we ain't never really seen her go at somebody that either wasn't in the same field as her or wasn't on a personal level because she was fucking her man. After she cheated on him. Like, come on. Like, what? You got to get better at this, Clarissa. Like, come on. Stop it. Do better. But anyway, y'all, if y'all made it this far, trust and believe, I appreciate the hell out of you. Again, hopefully next week or by the next time you see me on the next video, whichever one that may be, today Wednesday, tomorrow Thursday, so Friday, Saturday, one of those for power, beyond the gates and love out the lockup. I'll be in a better attitude, a better mood. I apologize if I brought the shit down. I did. I just really don't like when people play with my character. I don't like open myself up to people, and that's why I don't. Anyway, I'm in my feelings. I'm gonna hurt, but you guys enjoy your weekend. I'll be good. Don't worry about me. No. No, don't do that. I'm good. Y'all enjoy your wake, okay? Bitch, I hope it's about to want to fuck up. It was like 70 degrees outside. I just can't wait till summertime shot get here for real, baby. I'm finna be outside for real this time. But y'all enjoy. Y'all be safe. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.